Coming up on SAU News, McKee Library gives students the chance to show each other some of their love in their own creative way.
February might be the time to plan your next trip to the Tennessee Aquarium. The popular Chattanooga attraction is offering a big discount to college students and faculty. These stories and more coming up.
SAU News starts now. Welcome to SAU News. I'm Paola Mora.
And I'm Estefania Sanchez. Our weekly newscast is brought to you by the School of Journalism and Communication.
Our top story today, students running for next year's Student Association deliver their campaign speeches.
Jake Fisher was at the Isles Gym to hear them firsthand, and he joins us now in the studio. Hello, Jake.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
So Jake, tell us, after what you saw today, will you say people are excited about the upcoming elections?
I would say so. It was a packed house there at Isles Gym today for convocation. A lot of good candidates on stage, so I believe they're going to do a good job.
Today marks the official start for the newest cycle of SA officers, and it all kicks off with election speeches today in Isles Gym. 2 of the 4 positions are being run for unopposed, so the student body is guaranteed a specific executive vice president and social vice president. However, the role of president hinges between 2 candidates, Cheryl Kambuni and Luis Moreno. While both seem up to the task, they are fundamentally different. It is truly a battle for the hearts and minds of Southern students. Cheryl is a member of the Senate and serves as an RA, so she sees the benefit for all when someone passionate is in charge. Her platform is focusing on the well-being of the students as a whole, appealing to the improvement of mental and emotional health.
I would join forces with the counseling department and the chaplain's office to address mental health issues on this campus. Counseling services have been a great resource on this campus, but they haven't been able to operate at full capability.
She plans on hosting events and mental health groups in an effort to help students who need it. Luis has been a part of the leadership on campus for the last 3 years, so he says he recognizes the issues on campus. His strongest points come with his promise for policy change. He sees the student body as adults and should be treated as such.
We need to loosen the reins on our students to allow them to grow. Older students who have not had issues should be allowed to sign out, and the leave request should be instantly approved, no matter where we're going.
So, if you missed today's convocation, that was a quick little rundown of what was being talked about.
So, Jake, tell us a little bit more about the candidates who are running unopposed.
Well, first we have Naden Petros. She's running unopposed for social vice president. She's young, she's energetic, she's got good experience behind her. I believe that she's going to do a good job. Next up we have Marcus Abahar. He's a little older, but he also has experience. He's in the Senate, and he also serves as an RA. Once again, I think he's going to do a good job.
How about for those people who were not able to come to convocation today? Is there any other chance for them to get to know the candidates?
There actually is. Next Tuesday at 7 p.m. in Thatcher Chapel, there will be an SA press conference where people are going to be able to talk to the candidates, and find out what they're really all about.
Well, thank you for your time today, Jake.
SAU News will have a reporter at the press conference to bring you the story.
We've just heard all the changes in the candidates promised to make on campus, but what do you think? So we headed out to the promenade and asked people what they feel are the important issues in the upcoming SA election.
One of the issues I have is I feel like they need to be more outgoing with the students, the freshmen in general, because I don't know any of the SA people.
One of the major issues I'd like to hear about is worship credits. They're kind of annoying, a little bit pointless, and it seems like worship is more genuine when they're not used.
I think it should be, I know it's controversial, but I think it should be the issue of race.
One issue I'd like to see addressed is the marketing for different events going on campus. I don't really hear about anything that's going on, and I'd like to know what is going on.
Actually, I have not found any issue whatsoever. Yet, as of now, I have not seen any issues.
The general election for all SA officers is set for next Thursday, February 20th.
Students can also cast their vote in the upcoming presidential primary, known as Super Tuesday. More than 1,800 students attend Southern from out of state, and many don't know how or where to vote while in Tennessee. Out-of-state students can apply for an absentee ballot to vote in their home state, while here at Southern. The application process is so easy, you can do it from your computer or even your smartphone. To apply, head over to vote.org and click on Get Your Absentee Ballot. Once there, fill out the empty space with your personal information and out-of-state address. It's so simple, it only takes a couple of minutes. A form will be sent to you via email, which you then will mail to your county back home. To vote in the March primaries, your absentee ballot must be requested before the last week of February and returned by Election Day, March 3rd.
The world was shaken 3 weeks ago with the news that legendary basketball player Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter crash. The tragedy also killed 8 others, including Bryant's second oldest daughter. The group was heading to a youth basketball tournament. Reports say air traffic control gave the helicopter permission to fly despite the foggy weather. Many who grew up watching Bryant's career told us he was an inspiration.
Kobe Bryant was one of my favorite players growing up. And before I go for a basketball game or intramurals game, I'd always watch his videos or his highlights to kind of give me motivation.
He really pushed me to really be the best out there because he was a big inspiration for me, and he is actually the reason why I became a big fan of basketball.
So I'm 22, so that was like my Jordan. I watched the majority of his career, the big games with my dad, so it impacted me in the sense of like he had extreme work ethic.
I'm not really like a sports fan, like I don't really keep up with sports and everything, but I have brothers that do. And I did know about Kobe, and whenever we would play like basketball, just like mess around, we would always like be like, oh, for Kobe or like something like that. And it was nice having like a role model to look up to.
Well, I'm a big basketball fan. I love playing basketball. My whole game is patterned around how he played the game.
Bryant played his entire 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers. He won 5 NBA championships and earned 18 All-Star selections. Southern's campus remains in mourning over the sudden loss of a student last week.
His name was Chris Whittington, and I got the chance to learn more about Chris, who friends say loved to serve others. Chris Whittington came to Southern in 2016 from Bowling Green, Kentucky. He enrolled as a religious studies major and took classes with SAU, an evangelism training program. Those who knew him said he had a big passion to share his faith. On a Facebook blog, he wrote, "I feel one of the most important things we can do is share the message of Jesus." But besides evangelism, Whittington wanted to serve others. Behind Miss Hackman Hall, the School of Religion where Whittington had most of his classes, his professor said he eventually wanted to transfer into social work and get a job as a Christian counselor.
He was sensitive, he cared about people, sometimes troubled, that was part of his experience. But I think overall, he just had a very genuine heart. And what he wanted to do was to make a difference in the world.
After Whittington missed an appointment last week, College SAU police were called to check on him. They discovered his body in his University Drive apartment. Authorities are still investigating the cause of death, but say that no foul play is suspected. Whittington left behind his dog JJ, a Yorkshire Terrier, who is now in the loving care of Professor Parker's family. This campus tragedy may have left some students struggling with grief. University Counselor Tiffany Bartel says it is important for those students to seek help.
I think it's really helpful to seek out services to make sure that you're processing in a healthy way and moving through and not getting stuck.
Counseling Services is located in the 3rd floor of Linwood Hall. For SAU News, I'm Paola Mora reporting. Students may also seek counseling from chaplains in campus ministry or dormitory deans.
Winter semester's Week of Prayer brought Southern students together to worship. Led by campus ministries at the University Church, the week-long series of worship talks began at 8 every night in late January. Throughout the week, 6 students shared their personal testimonies about their journey in their relationship with Christ. The theme of the week was Again and Again, where speakers focused on God's faithfulness even when they have felt hopelessness and wanted to give up. The service also included student-led praise and worship, where the theme song aimed to encourage everyone to seek a deeper relationship with God and understanding God is always working.
Southern celebrated as a sixth of another Martin Luther King Jr. Community Service Day. From the Chattanooga Zoo to the Creative Discovery Museum, hundreds of students took the opportunity to better the communities around them on this day of remembering for the late Dr. King. Volunteers worked with children, stocked food banks, and contributed good old-fashioned manual labor. Some even used their musical talents, leading out in the morning worship at the Salvation Army. This last MLK Day of the service marked the 27th anniversary for the celebration observed on the third Monday in January.
More than 90 million fans around the country tuned in to watch this year's Super Bowl game. That number included those who watched the game at this year's SA Super Bowl party. The game was projected on 3 giant screens. Pizzas and drinks were served throughout the program, but compared to past Super Bowl parties, attendance was down, about 100 less than last year. Many students also left during the halftime when SA changed the channel to NBC's American Ninja Warrior. Student Development Vice President Dennis Negron said that this is done because the halftime show did not reflect Southern's values.
Yeah, everything that Student Association does has to promote the mission of the university. And the program this year, the halftime show, was not consistent with the values that we believe Southern is about.
Last year, SA did show the Super Bowl halftime show, but that was an exception. Organizers had not done so since 2004.
The cafeteria's employment rate is at an all-time low. With more than 2,000 students on campus, the cafeteria usually employs around 100 workers every semester in order to run things smoothly. However, it was recently brought to attention that this semester an estimated 55 positions remained empty. The overwhelming amount of the empty spots has caused stress for the employees, and the cafeteria is desperately looking to hire workers in all sections. If you're looking for a job but only have a few hours to spare, the cafeteria may be a good place to begin your search.
Looking for a way to get a taste of Europe without the travel cost? This new club may be worth checking out. The European Culture Society made its debut this week on the Promenade. The idea of the club came from senior business management student Rodney Aquino and biology major Emily David after they spent time abroad.
I guess the long-term goal is to make it as big as the other cultural clubs, to reach that standard that Asian Club is at, to reach that standard that BCU, LAC, kind of to be on the same playing field, but not just to compete, it's just to bring awareness and to celebrate the cultures that go uncelebrated.
Plans to host movie nights featuring films in different languages. Other plans include a European potluck, community service, and even a Vespers service. To sign up, head over to their Instagram page where you can find the application link in their bio.
The Weekend of Love has begun. Valentine's Day is here, and while some may be wondering what they will be doing with their special someone, these Southern residents know what their ideal first date would be. Take a look.
My ideal Valentine's date is to go on a nice long walk on the beach in Tennessee.
My ideal first date, I would say ice cream in a park. Yeah.
2 of us at night underneath the Eiffel Tower at a table, and there's a guy playing a violin, and there's a dog that barks, and there's 2 dogs on the side of us eating spaghetti at the same time. And I'm also, eating spaghetti with her, and we do that little spaghetti thing where we look at each other and it starts coiling.
My ideal first date would be getting food together.
Valentine's Day gives people the opportunity to show love in multiple ways. But if you don't think you are quite ready for a date, maybe arts and craft alternative will be better.
If you're more of a creative person, you might want to think about stopping by the library. Once again, McKee Library is offering its free card-making station. Students can enjoy a study break by creating a card for a friend or a loved one. Library Director Daisy Bravo says the card-making station has been a tradition for 10 years.
I see a lot of students using the station. Definitely all the stickers are gone by Valentine's Day, so if anybody wants to get a card made come quick because the stickers run out. But it's a fun thing that we like to do for our students, just to help them out because it's a special day for a lot of people.
The librarians will do their best to keep the card-making station stocked until its closing February 16.
Couples attending the SAU's Valentine's Banquet last weekend witnessed a bit of an unexpected romance. This year's event was at Howie Farms, a popular wedding venue north of Collegedale. When a man started singing from an upstairs balcony, it soon became apparent that he was singing to his date in the audience. She was full of anticipation, and then this happened.
Can you say how the days will unfold? Can you change what the future may hold? But I want you to admit every hour, every minute.
Our congratulations to the happy couple, Junior Theology major Daniel Vanegas and Junior Religious Education major Samantha White.
Students and community members admired the work of a local Chattanooga artist in Brock Hall's gallery this month. The paintings on display were the work of Morris Mitchell, and he calls the exhibit Pioneering the Edge. Mitchell's art features a conceptual and contemporary style. His pieces incorporate mixed media, and several pieces grasp spiritual themes. Mitchell spent much of his career as an art professor in Florida at the Ringling College of Art and Design in Sarasota. After his retirement, he moved to Hickson, Tennessee.
The Collegedale Winter Market is open for business. The weekly Sunday event opened last weekend at the Collegedale Commons next to City Hall. Visitors could shop at the many booths set up by local vendors, listen to live music, or grab a snack from one of the food trucks outside.
We've got about 30 vendors here. We've got food, breads, paintings, you name it. We've got a little bit of everything out here.
The market is open every Sunday 11 to 4 from now until the end of May, with the exception of 3 weeks in April.
You may have noticed that a longtime fixture on the promenade next to Miller Hall is no longer there. The giant willow oak tree is gone. Just as the Christmas holiday break was ending, so was the life of a beloved tree. It towered about 80 to 100 feet, and it was estimated to be 75 years old. So why was it cut down? An arboreal professional confirmed the structural integrity of the willow oak was compromised. It was so big it took tree surgeons 2 days to cut it down. Director of Landscaping Services Mark Antone said it was one of his favorite trees on campus, but it had to be removed due to the risk of injuring students walking nearby.
If you're planning a trip downtown, consider a visit to the Tennessee Aquarium. All during February, college students and faculty can visit the Aquarium and IMAX Theater only for half the admission price. The Aquatic Museum has many shows and chances to get close and personal with the animals.
You may be walking by and someone has an education animal that's out that's ready for you to touch and ask questions about. So some really unique experiences just kind of buried in.
This is only for the month of February, and all tickets must be purchased on-site at the Aquarium Ticket Center. Just make sure to bring your student ID.
Next week on SAU News, we'll tell you all about the new shopping and entertainment options coming to Hamilton Place Mall.
Kenneth Bautista opens up and reveals more details about his recent cancer diagnosis. These stories and more next week.
Our newscast is a production of the TV News Reporting class here at Southern School of Journalism and Communication. I'm Estefania Sanchez.
And I'm Paola Mora. Think you have a newsworthy story? DM us on Instagram at SAU_news.
We leave you with inspiring sounds from our sister school, Oakwood University. Their world-famous choir, the Aeolians, performed to a packed audience at the University Church last weekend. It was a moment to remember.